Hello everyone, I'm sitting here with Miss Cecilia, grade 4 teacher. And Miss Cecilia has just come into our office here and she is celebrating an authentic learning opportunity from taking her students to our community greenhouse. So what did you do in the greenhouse with the kids?
So, Miss Breed, we started with the idea of guessing, because that's what it said on the little papers, to go and guess how many tomatoes will be harvested. So we connected it to a math concept of estimation.
Awesome.
But that estimation needs to be based on actual data information.
Mm-hmm.
So we made that connection, they had a walkthrough, and then they made an estimation. And then the students actually went to go and count a certain amount of tomatoes on a plant, and then use that data to show what they found. But at this process, they had to inquire into different graphs.
Beautiful.
So they watched videos, they shared their thoughts, they planned it, and then they actually recorded their data of how many tomatoes are there on each plant using different kinds of graphs.
Beautiful. And so my brain is just like all these vibrations are shooting off, because Barry and I were just sitting in the office here and we were kind of giggling at the range of estimations that have come into us from the school. And our low just came in a few minutes ago at 10 tomatoes in our greenhouse to 5,000 tomatoes in our greenhouse. So we obviously had a little giggle fest of like, whoa, we could scaffold this activity.
True.
Kids really need to know how to estimate.
Right.
And so I think you as a teacher taking this opportunity to the next level and helping kids make those connections, that is fantastic. So what did the kids get from the activity? Did you get any feedback from one of them, a feedback loop of...
They found it really powerful to see how the variety is with the different sizes. So why are some of them so small and why are some of them so big? And they had conversations amongst each other. It's about the one is bigger, the other one is smaller. Look at the different sizes. Some of the questions and conversations just amongst themselves were about the sun, but they're not getting enough sun. And then they had a conversation about the shading of the greenhouse, and we spoke about what do we call a small plant. So it was just different kinds of conversations. How much do they get watered? So just having them go out, hearing what they wonder, and the conversations that lead from that.
I love it. I would love to see the kids actually crack open a cherry tomato at home and a beef tomato. That's the other big tomatoes you're referring to. And for them to just look at the actual size of the seeds, the difference in the size of the seeds, and to maybe even do like a estimation of how many seeds are in a little cup of cherry tomatoes, and then crack them open and actually count the seeds, because now they have that concept of estimation.
And it was so interesting to see how the conversation led to different colors of other things that they have ate before. So some of them came up and said, Miss, I had a black tomato before. And Sultan came up and said, it's really actually very fine humor, he said he had a black lemon. We all said a black lemon. He said, yeah, put it in the oven, and then it was black. I'm like, okay then. But it all stemmed from just going to estimate tomatoes.
And estimating tomatoes in the greenhouse. Thank you, Miss Cecilia, for taking
Thank
the kids
you so
down.
much for such an authentic day, because it was literally a majority of the day.
Oh, that gives me goosebumps. Thank you so much for joining us today. Okay, bye-bye. So I must share, as Miss Cecilia was walking out of the room, she continued to share. I wish I pressed record on this podcast, but how Miss Jo's class went on to talk about multiplication and how they can count one plant and multiply it over by all the 50 plants we have in the greenhouse, and figuring out how many tomatoes we have through that process. And we continued to talk about how this authentic experience could lead to talking about science and the angle of the sun and how much shade everything is getting. And so really our conversation continued after I had pressed pause on this podcast to how many authentic opportunities are available in just, having a greenhouse and visiting the greenhouse and helping giving the kids an opportunity to wonder and to inquire. And she was really thankful for such a rich opportunity. But it really is up to teachers to guide that process and to help them delve deeper. So I just wanted to share before I end this podcast that even our conversation as she was leaving continued to be really, really rich. Awesome. Guys, have a great day. Bye-bye.